Good afternoon. Welcome to another session of Canvas Live. Canvas Live sessions are presented by Canvas community members and/or Instructure employees to help Canvas users improve and enhance their teaching and learning with Canvas. And today we're joined by Kristen Ledstrom. She is a Canvas coach, and she also is a tech admin at her school. And she's here to tell us all about Padlet and how it integrates with Canvas. Kristen?
Hi, thanks. So here we are. We're going to look a little bit on how we can collaborate with Padlet and the different ways we can integrate those in with our courses. My primary role at De La Salle High School is a visual arts teacher. I teach 5 different courses throughout my day, and then I also am Canvas admin at my building. So lots of different avenues that I work with, but it's always fun to find tools that collaborate really well and fit in really well with already existing courses. So I hope you find this helpful. First of all, what is Padlet? Padlet, in the simplest terms, is a virtual wall. It can be looked at as a whiteboard, a pegboard, anywhere that you can put Post-it notes. But ultimately, what excites me about Padlet is that users can exchange thoughts, collaborate, and collect information all about a topic that the instructor chooses. So another aspect of that, you can set up your board so that users have to sign in with some sort of credentials so that you know who says what, or it can be anonymous, or even that you could make it so that they don't have to have a username or credentials to sign in to participate, but they could sign their contributions. All sorts of files can be attached to posts. This includes PDFs, documents, YouTube videos. Really, you have a lot of variety. And I get really excited because there are apps too. Android and iOS both have apps that support Padlet, and they're very easy to use. Students dive in right away, and that makes it easy to integrate it into your course, because not all things work beautifully with mobile, but these do. Some benefits that I've found is that Padlet can add depth and variety to classroom collaborations. It's visual and dynamic, so students can see how others are participating. It might spark some thoughts that they wouldn't have had otherwise. It can be a fun way to share student work, collect resources, make summaries, and the list goes on and on. So I've collected a few examples. This one was found online. I cited the location where I found it on the right-hand side. But everything from elementary to college level can really leverage this, and it all depends on what the instructor's objectives are in the course. So here's a KWL chart for volcanoes, and we can see what these different students want to know. And you can rearrange, everybody can add their little Post-it note to the board, and they can see what other people are questioning as well. Here's another example that I found online. Things we learned about magnets. Nice little summarizing activity. Example from English. So maybe you have a question of the day. Maybe it's a reflective question. Again, there's many different ways you can use Padlet as far as like identifying students, but the last couple have had it so that the student's name is the title and then the supporting information is underneath. In my courses, I've used Padlet in a couple of different ways. This post actually inspired a lot of my critiques. When I use Padlet for critiques, getting artwork up and figuring out how to discuss it, students like this format a lot because they're able to incorporate the visual with their opinion and see things side by side, whereas discussions are in Canvas can be so drawn out on the mobile app. Right here, it's a snapshot, and they can see everything in one little place. It's also very easy to clear them out. So at the end of the week, the discussion's over, you can clear out and erase all the posts and then start with a new question or topic. Here's an example from one of my photography classes, they're required to make a theme of 12 images, and here they anonymously created some ideas, and they were just brainstorming. So doing this task by yourself, trying to figure out different ideas, can be a little intimidating, but if they see lots of their peers also working, the task doesn't become so scary. So another leverage point. And another example I've created is creating a resource center. So maybe you're, for this example, working on the Bill of Rights, and you stumble across things as you're researching articles, publications, blogs, and you think other students might be interested. Then they can contribute back. And for the point of this example, I included a YouTube video, some articles. I also did the citations so that if somebody used it for a research project, they had the information they needed. So I'm going to quick exit and then go to my course. So you can see Padlet in a course setting. So one way that I have put Padlet into this particular course is through a content page. So I created a brand new page, called it Concentration Ideas. And I took the HTML code, which I'll show you in a little bit once we get into Padlet itself. And I was able to copy that information and paste it into the content editor for this page. And students, as long as they can get there, can push the plus sign and make a contribution. Another way that I use Padlet, and the students like this the most because it keeps things really, really handy for them, is to use the redirect tool and to add things to the side navigation. And this shows up really nicely in mobile too. So I'll just click Cool Finds. So whenever one of my students finds something interesting that they think their peers would enjoy, they add links, they add video tutorials, and it's this ongoing collection of resources. And it's really fun to see what everybody adds in. So we're going to go to Padlet.com. And I'm just going to do a very quick tour and how to get the information that you need to get into your courses. I've already signed in, but for the first time when you sign into Padlet, you can sign in with your Google information, and it's one less piece of login, password, name, all of that to remember, and that's really nice. So to create a new Padlet, the pink button is in the top right-hand corner. And you have the opportunity to really customize this. So you can add a title, maybe a description, maybe tell your students exactly what is supposed to happen in this space. And stream, all depends on how you want everything arranged on your screen. And you have lots of different background choices. So maybe you can choose a theme based on the content. We're just going to go with that one. And you can also choose an icon for the left-hand corner. So you can help students maybe organize their Padlets a little bit, make sure that they're on the correct one. You can also decide if you're going to allow viewers to comment on posts, or if you're going to make it so that it's posts only. Again, it depends on how you want to use this in your class. So click Next. You have the decision of different privacy features. Those with access can write, those with access can read. So really taking the time to think about how you need your students to get to the information. From here, we need to get things back to Canvas. So I found that everything that I need is in Share. And then right next to People and Privacy, there is Share, Export, and Embed. So copy link to Padlet. It automatically copies to your clipboard. In modules, there's that opportunity to add a link. So external URL. This link could also be used within an assignment description or discussion description to direct them outside of Canvas momentarily, participate, and then come back in. This is the one that I use the most often, and it's embedded in your blog or website. And at the top, the full embed code is listed, and you just click copy. And I'm going to make a new page for the sake of the demo. Once I get into edit, I click on HTML editor. And then I can paste that code that I copied from Padlet and click Save. And so students can stay within Canvas and say something here. And then you can also see all of the different options. You can add an attachment, so audio recording, video, a picture, a file, web URL, lots of different choices available. So last thing I said that I would demonstrate is how to get it on that left-hand side. So in your course settings, you have an option to include apps. So on the tab, make sure it's active. And then mine are still loading. Okay, so redirect tool is very handy for this. You can click and then add app. And it's going to open this dialog box and say, we need to name it and we need a URL. So I need to go back to Padlet and grab that link, bring it back over here. And it's important to change the name right away because it's something that you can't do once you've saved. You almost have to delete it and then start over. So I'm just going to call this Padlet demo. I'm going to paste the URL to my Padlet there. And I want it to show in my course navigation. I'm going to say add app. So I get the confirmation this app was added successfully. Now I can go back over to my navigation option. And where did it go? There it is. It'll show up at the bottom of my list. And then I can rearrange this to help students see the importance of it, make sure it makes sense with all of the other options that are in your left-hand navigation. And the thing about the navigation piece that I like is that maybe I want this Padlet for a specific unit, and then it's irrelevant or I'm done. I can drag it to the list of items to hide from my students. And I can still access it, or I could bring it back if it becomes relevant again, but then the students don't find it. I don't have to remember to unpublish it in modules, and everything stays as is. So I'm going to go back here. Are there any questions?
Feel free to post your questions in the live chat next to if you're watching this from the YouTube channel. So far, there hasn't been any questions, Kristen.
Okay. And then if you are watching this beyond Canvas Live and you have questions, feel free to ask them right in the event page or in the comment section below the video, and I'd be happy to help you out.
Perfect.
Okay, next slide, B-Rai.
Sure. Well, thanks again, Kristen, for your feedback and your insights on this. This is really cool. The collaboration or the integration with Padlet sounds like it has a lot of opportunities and for engagement in your classroom as well. So that's great. Just wanted to close out by saying, feel free to follow Canvas Live, the Canvas Live space, by going to live.canvaslms.com. We do have a Canvas Live user group where we collaborate on Canvas Live events before we actually launch them into the Canvas Live space. And then if you'd like, you could always hang out with us in the chat rooms where where other community members are kind of working together and chatting in real time as well. I want to say thank you to Kristen for taking on this demo and presenting something really cool and unique. And if users have any additional questions, that they can feel free to reach out to you directly or at the event page for the session.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and we will touch base in an upcoming episode of Canvas Live. Thanks.